Alright, hello there and good evening once again. Many thanks for joining us tonight. Right here on the broadcast, the 11th day of May 2024. You are just right in time for Kutv Weekend Live, barely 48 hours before schools reopen. Talk to us on Kutv News Kenya on YouTube or KUTV_Kenya on Twitter or formerly X, and tell us how prepared are you as a parent or as a student, even as schools prepare to resume in the next 48 hours. Tonight, our reporters have been up and about preparing and compiling top stories for you that include: President Ruto meets with the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentist Union officials in a closed-door meeting at State House, Nairobi. One person dies after a lorry overturns and crashes on a saloon car along the Kaguma-Mutito Road in Kirinyaga County. Government announces plans to work with the World Bank in setting up a fund to support businesses affected by floods. 20 pit latrine toilets sink and collapse at the Ruiru Girls High School due to heavy rains experienced in the region last week. Alright, many thanks, and continue keeping the conversation going on our social media platforms, YouTube at KUTV News Kenya and on X KUTV_Kenya, or even across my social media handles at Theo_Macharia. Our sign language interpreter for tonight is Lucy Kiarie, and my name once again is Theo Macharia. Let's get you informed tonight. President William Ruto has pledged his commitment towards solving human resource challenges that stand in the way of realizing universal healthcare coverage goals for Kenya. Ruto was speaking on Saturday as he hosted union leaders of the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentist Union, KMPDU, in a closed-door meeting at State House, Nairobi. KMPDU, on its part, threw its weight behind Ruto's universal healthcare coverage agenda, as well as a social health insurance fund. Munene Wero continues from that point tonight.
After appending their signatures in consent of the return to work formula agreement with the government, doctors' union leaders today played guest to President William Ruto at State House, Nairobi. In a critical health sector consultative meeting held behind closed doors, President William Ruto reiterated his commitment to catering for their employee needs. According to a statement released by State House Nairobi, President William Ruto said that the government will consistently address the persistent human resource challenges that slow down the realization of universal health coverage. Ruto continued that the government will continually engage stakeholders in the health sector, including health workers' unions, to promote industrial harmony and long-lasting solutions to the challenges. On Wednesday, representatives of the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentist Union KMPDU agreed terms with the government on a return to work formula that ended the 8 weeks long doctor strike. At State House, Nairobi, the union leaders pledged their allegiance to President Ruto, throwing their weight behind his principal healthcare strategies. The union committed to champion and support the universal healthcare agenda and the rolling out of the social health insurance to all Kenyans. Munene Weru, KUTV.
All right, many thanks, Munene Weru, for that comprehensive report. And now let's move on some rather tragic news. where one person has died in an accident along the Kagumo-Mutito Road in Kirinyaga County after a beer-ferrying lorry en route to Kagumo overturned when its driver attempted to brave through potholes on the road and fell on a saloon car, instantly claiming the life of its occupant. Area residents, led by nominated Member of County Assembly Bosco Geshangi, have urged the government to renovate the dilapidated roads to avoid such accidents in the future. Kirinyaga County firefighters faced significant challenges in retrieving the deceased body trapped in the mangled car. The body has been ferried to Kerugoya mortuary pending identification, with the wrecks being towed to the Kerugoya police station. And the government is working with the World Bank to set up a fund to support businesses affected by the floods. This is according to the Cabinet Secretary for Investments, Trade, Industry, Rebecca Miano. The CS, who was speaking at the Irangi Forest block in Embu County, also announced plans to engage with the micro, small and medium-sized enterprises, also known as MSMEs, to see how best to build resilience following the floods after many businesses were destroyed. Take a listen.
Tumeshirikiana na World Bank na saa hizi tunajaribu kuongea na World Bank na development partners wengine kuwaeleza kwamba katika mafuriko kuna biashara zimeathirika, zimeenda chini sana, ili tuweze kutafuta fedha, tutafute pesa, tuangalie hizo biashara ndogo ndogo, tuweze kuziinua na kuzipatia fedha ili ziinuke tena.
Tunaendelea kupatia wakulima fruit trees ambazo wataweza kupanda, mainly hasa avocado and macadamia and mango trees.
And moving on, in Garissa members of County Assembly are now calling on the government to intervene and end extrajudicial killings, which they say have become a norm in the region. And as Dorothy Musioka details, the members of County Assembly say that cases of enforced disappearances have been going on for far too long, and despite the local leadership raising an alarm over the same, nothing has changed.
A section of residents in Garissa County have expressed their rage due to the increase of extrajudicial killings in the region. Area MCAs also joined the residents as they raised concern over the rising cases of enforced disappearance and extrajudicial killings in the county, which they say are being orchestrated by security apparatus.
To air out our distress and concerns, and also to stand firmly in solidarity with the people from our backyard who was abducted by the security apparatus of this country, Kenya.
Abdirahman Ali of Liboy disclosed that this year alone, a total of 5 people have been abducted and they are yet to be traced. Ali accused the government of applying doublespeak, saying that it was the same state that promised to end extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearance during campaigns, as their efforts to follow up with the relevant authorities have borne no fruits.
We used to face this problem before, and when the government of UDA, headed by His Excellency William Ruto, came into power, he promised us that he is going to end the extrajudicial killings and abduction of our loved ones. But now it looks like it has increased in numbers.
Tunauliza hii swali ya kwamba kama mtu kama ako na makosa, ni askari ndio wanakaa na yeye kwa jela, ama huwa anafaa kuwa katika mahakama ya serikali? Na kwa haya maneno tunaomba serikali yetu kuu wahakikisha kwamba kuna usalama baina ya watu yetu na nchi yetu kwa ujumla, na hakikisho ya usalama iwe katika majamii ambaye wako karibu na kule sehemu ya boda na Somalia na ya Kenya.
On his part, Abdirahman Bor highlighted the issue of security as a multi-sectoral one, which requires collaborative efforts from different personnel, as he appealed the Kenya Kwanza administration, led by President Ruto, to end this vice.
We are appealing to both the CS and the president. Please stop this enforced disappearance and extrajudicial killings. The issue of security is a multi-sectoral. The public are also stakeholders. This is an issue that as a Muslim and as a community we cannot tolerate. We have courts, we have prisons, we have investigating agencies.
According to Garissa members of County Assembly, over 10 people are missing and now they want justice to prevail and peace restored in the region. Dorothy Musyoka, KUTV.
All right, many thanks, Dorothy Musyoka, for that comprehensive report tonight. And now let's take a look at some matters education. Now, as learners prepare to resume for second term on Monday 13, Basic Education Principal Secretary Dr. Belio Kipsang has assured stakeholders that teachers will adequately cover the syllabus without extending the second term as had been earlier proposed by Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Mashogu. Kipsang further directed schools to 1. Individually devise a plan to recover the time lost due to delays in schools reopening. 2. Adjust learning hours for more so day scholars should the heavy rains affect learning. 3. Unconditionally admit learners and remove uniform and school fees barriers, especially from families affected by floods. Schools have also been asked to prioritize hygiene and sanitation practices to prevent outbreak of diseases caused by dirty water. Transportation of students to strictly observe the 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. rule. The PS also affirmed that the ministry, in collaboration with other government agencies, is fixing the damaged facilities at schools for a smooth reopening. The students will learn for 6 weeks before breaking for the half term from June 20th to 23rd. All right, and on that note, we are taking our first short commercial break right here on the broadcast. Continue keeping the conversation going. I can see you guys on YouTube, rather interacting with us, KUTV News Kenya, and on X at KUTV_Kenya, or even across my social media handles. Keep the conversation going. More stories coming on the other side after the short commercial break. Don't go too far.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pasi vuguvugu. Pepo pa ni idea.
Tazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko. Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, hiyo inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni duniani leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
They are powerful and influential. They make decisions in politics, education, finance, agriculture, health, sports, and all aspects of human life. But the impact of their decisions falls on you, the common citizen. KUTV Primetime News Thursday. We ask bold questions and pursue answers to the core to bring you closer to the story. We couldn't have it any other way. Join me, Auma Evans, as I raise matters of social concern to raise your voice from the background to the foreground. Every Thursday and Saturday at 9 p.m. only on KUTV.
All right, many thanks for keeping the conversation going on YouTube, KUTV News Kenya, and on X, KUTV_Kenya. Remain across my social media handles at Theo_Macharia. Many thanks for choosing KUTV Weekend Live. Let's continue with the broadcast. Now, learning at the Ruiru Girls High School is likely to resume on a bumpy start after 20 toilets in the school sank due to the heavy rains experienced in the region last week. According to the school principal, Gloria Waithera, the school is now left with only 16 pit latrines to serve the entire school population at a time when the government just called on schools to prioritize hygiene and sanitation. This story was produced by Emanjeri and voiced by our very own Yvonne Kemuma.
As rainfall caused destruction in various parts of the country, Ruiru Girls High School was no exception as 20 pit latrines collapsed and sank. The institution, which happens to be the only public girls boarding school in Ruiru constituency, accommodates about 1,031 students, majority of whom are boarders.
They've been overflow of a lot of water, and actually we have challenges in our school. Our 20 toilets sank, and this is what we were using in our school, so we are facing that particular challenge.
According to the school principal Gloria Waithera, only 16 out of the 36 pit latrines survived the incident, noting that the remaining latrines are not enough due to the high student population.
Na tunajua shule itafunguliwa Jumatatu, lakini tuna mipango. Kuna kwingine tutapeleka vio vya muda za nikitangaza niseme za ziada, lakini hapa tuko na bahati kidogo kwa sababu hii shule iko na bweni na tutaanza kutumia zile choo za bweni tukitangulia kutengeneza choo zingine.
Ruiru Member of Parliament who was also present assured of the county's support to the schools, promising to construct temporary toilets in the meantime as they prepare to construct permanent ones.
Initially, we had that 6 toilets. Now 20 of them, they have sunk, so we are only left with the 16, and the 16 toilets are not enough for that particular population.
Kingara also pointed out that there are plans to move displaced people who are currently housed in 3 primary school grounds so as to pave way for learners as they resume classes next week.
Kuna mashule matatu kama vile pale kwa Ngeve, kuna watu wanaishi hapo, kutoka hapo tunaenda hapo tupange vile tunaweza watafutia pahali ya kukaa ndio shule ipate nafasi.
This comes days before the school reopen on Monday next week. Yvonne Kemuma, KUTV.
All right, many thanks Yvonne Kemuma for that comprehensive report. And now let's shift gears to some international news. The World Health Organization estimates that about 2 million women across sub-Saharan Africa and in Asia live with untreated obstetric fistula because of the shame and misconceptions that exist about it. A hospital in Tanzania is now training ambassadors who look for patients and help them access free treatment, as Saida Swale reports from Dar es Salaam.
At the recent Women Lift Health Global Conference in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, more than 1,000 women discussed ways of global action to help close the gender gap in health leadership. Women Lift Health is an international group working to expand women's leadership in healthcare to improve health outcomes.
We live in a world where women make up 70% of the health workforce around the world. They are the backbone. But they only hold 25% or less of senior leadership positions.
Brenda Msangi is among those who attended the conference. She is the first female chief executive officer of the CCBRT hospital. She has introduced holistic approaches to the healthcare industry and created a program that finds fistula patients who often seclude themselves in villages.
We have trained more than 500 ambassadors in Tanzania, and it's really across the country. So whenever they come across such women, they give us a call. We have a call center here dedicated for that.
Mary Maziku is one of them. She had her first baby at the age of 17. The baby was a stillbirth, and during labor, Maziku suffered a fistula, a tear between the birth canal and the bladder or rectum. Untreated, fistulas allow urine and waste to seep uncontrolled from a woman's body. As a result, many patients become ostracized and isolated.
When I first got fistula, people would tell me it wasn't treatable and that I wouldn't heal. They wanted to take me to a witch doctor.
Maziku lost hope of recovery. Then she learned about the Comprehensive Community-Based Rehabilitation in Tanzania, or CCBRT, a non-profit hospital that offers treatment for fistula patients.
After recovery, I'm now okay. I was lucky to get trained at the Mabinti Center, where I am now employed.
The Mabinti Center, a Swahili word meaning ladies at the CCBRT hospital, helps women who have recovered from fistula find their footing in society. Here they learn money-earning skills such as making bags and the country's famous Mabinti dolls. The treatment is offered at no cost, but many women don't seek help because there is lack of awareness of the condition and treatment, which the Mabinti Center is trying to counter.
We need to mobilize resources to ensure that no woman is left behind just because they cannot afford to pay for these costs. And this is really the driver of our CCBRT started being very intentional in breaking those two barriers of creating awareness, but also covering all the cost, that it should not be a barrier for the women to still suffer for this condition.
Africa. The Women Lift Health group highlights women such as Msangi and programs like the Mabinti Center, which provides care for hundreds of some of the most vulnerable patients. Saida Swale, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania.
All right, and that story by Saida Swale all the way from Dar es Salaam takes us to our second very short commercial break right here on KUTV Weekend Live. Comments coming in on YouTube. Many thanks for keeping it KUTV Weekend Live. See you on the other side with sports stories coming on.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pasi vuguvugu, pepo pani. poa ni idea.
Sazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, hiyo inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni Duniani Leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. Kutv, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Where we ask the coolest questions in science. Let's go! Is yogurt really just rotten milk? Why do humans need sharks to survive? How did a 12-year-old boy from Africa invent modern vanilla farming? How do you deliver medicine to a chimpanzee? Can poop be useful? How can you save the planet by reducing air pollution? To help us answer these questions, we are inviting some wonderful guests from the world of science. They will enlighten you, make you hungry for knowledge, oxygenate your brain, and make your ideas flow. This is Engine Season 3. Let's go!
Technology, science, innovation, ICT and research. These are the ingredients upon which the solutions to the 21st century problems are founded. In a world that is rapidly changing, it's all hands on deck to ensure a balance in all fields of life. Young and old are also in the front line, breaking the glass ceiling, becoming thought leaders in the larger tech space. Not forgetting other societies marginalized. And when the tech Avengers come together, we inch closer to a much safer, efficient, and sustainable world. What we view as a norm in today's advanced world was just an idea, and for nostalgic reasons, we trace back to the iconic days to bring you the retro tech. On Tech Innovation Show, we encapsulate all the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution, decoded in a language, all for one for all. Every Monday at 8:30 as we push the mantra, keep learning something new each and every day. Only on KUTV, a new experience.
All right, and now let's get sporty, where women 800 meters world champion Mary Moraa and two-time world cross-country champion Beatrice Chebet reigned supreme in 800 meters and 5,000 meters races, respectively, to win at the third leg of the Diamond League Series in Doha, Qatar. The Dancing Mora clocked a 1 hour 57 minutes 91 seconds to register her season best time to bag her second win of the year in the 800 meters race, while Chebet trounced world 10,000 meters bronze medalist Taye Ejgayehu and her compatriot Medina Asa, who settled for second and third positions respectively. All right, and it's at that point that we say kudos Team Kenya and kudos to Mora and the entire Team Kenya. Let's now move on, where Bidco United and Kakamega Homeboys played out to a 2-2 in the Football Kenya Federation clash played out today at Dandora Stadium. In an early kick-off clash, Nicholas Kipkirui opened the score sheet for the visitors after only 8 minutes of the playing time before Jacob Onyango from Bidco United scored the equalizer 34 minutes later. Kakamega Homeboys added the second goal courtesy of Ambrose Sifuna's strike in the 53rd minute before Douglas Mukaya leveled the scores 13 minutes later to force a draw at full time. And that FKF story brings us to exactly 31 minutes past the top of the hour right here on KUTV Weekend Live. We have come to the end of the broadcast, but just before we leave, allow me to sample a few of the comments. Many thanks, Ruth Njeri, watching all the way from Nakuru, Ashley also watching all the way from Ruiru, and I can also see John Christing watching us all the way from Nyeri. Many thanks for the love. Eddie Okendo also saying on YouTube, tuned in. Also Kevin To tuned in from Kericho. Many thanks, Kevin To, for tuning in. Felista Moirori telling us she's also tuned in. We also see Roy Mwangi commenting on the story on extrajudicial killings, and Roy Mwangi is saying that sad that extrajudicial killings are still a topic today, and is saying that one of the politicians in the country will ask, in whose hands are we safe today? Many thanks, Sida Kuria, also on YouTube for tuning in and enjoying. I can see you keeping the conversation going. And also Jonelle Karaoke tuned in, saying many thanks, Jonelle Karaoke, for tuning in to KUTV. And also Felix Kiprono, I can see you from all Eldoret. Many thanks, Team Eldoret there, being represented by Felix Kiprono. And on that note, we have come to the end of the broadcast tonight. Many thanks for keeping us company. Also many thanks to the many people behind the lenses for making this bulletin a success. We do this again, same time, same place, next Saturday. Our sign language interpreter has been Lucy Kiarie, and my name is Theo Macharia. Good night and good luck.